Yo, hello guys. So, yep, they have nerfed Flash. I just checked, and exactly as I assumed they were going to nerf it, they nerfed Flash, the hit range of Flash. So, like I showcased in my last video, if you were to dash towards Kazuya, the dummy here, and you press 1+4, you can land your Flash, right? So, if I do it now, it doesn't work. Doesn't matter how close I think I am, I could be touching his toes, right? Doesn't matter. I'll whiff Flash. Though that's not the case for no sword stance Flash. For some reason they left this alone. It feels the same as it was in post nerf, right? So it feels naturally how it was before. Like they haven't really changed anything besides the overall health recovery and the damage. Now both regular Flash and no sword stance Flash both do 20 damage in total. It used to be that the regular Flash did 21 and the no sword stance Flash did 24. Now to get 24 damage, you have to get a counter hit to land on an opponent to then get yourself 24 damage. The worst of it is that now they made it so that when you're trying to use Flash against somebody, it's a lot likelier to whiff, just like in Tekken 7. If you're a Yoshi main right now and you're looking at this video, you're listening to this video, and you play Tekken 7 Yoshi, and you know the struggles of using Flash and it whiffing even when you knew the opponent was going to press something, you knew that the move was going to be some kind of fast jab or a fast mid, and you went for Flash and it whiffed, the feeling that you was enamored in, man. And now it happens the same way in Tekken 8. This is funny to me. So doesn't matter how quickly I do it, it's going to whiff. But not with no sword stance Flash. You can do it as quickly as you want and it'll still hit the target. So the NSS, which is short for, hasn't been changed. Only the damage and the recovery of health. So you can get this move to land accurately the same way. So that's nice that this can still work. Now, to land the regular Flash, you gotta be quite precise to do this. Very precise. You see, I messed it up right there. Again. 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 Bro. I'm trying my best to try to land it now. You see how inconsistent it is? Doesn't matter how you will try to land the Flash. If you're not perfectly doing it, it's going to whiff. There, I got it. I finally got the Flash to land. There, I got it again. So you gotta like wait like a slight moment to perform the Flash. Like right there. Just to get it to work. And it also depends on the angle. Like you saw how I was failing again and again and again to pull off Flash. That wasn't me like doing that like I proposed to do that. Like I made like a skit. No, that was on purpose. It was just whiffing. But the reason why it was whiffing was because of how I was angled against Kazuya. If I'm straight, I guess, how should I word this? If I'm accurately straight to where Kazuya is at, and I perform Flash, it's going to work. If I time it right. As you see. But if I'm even slightly off axis, it's going to whiff. No matter how much I delay Flash to get the hit to work. This is the problem that Yoshi had in Tekken 7. They fucking buffed it in Tekken 8. They buffed it at the release of the game. It was intentionally made that way. Right? And so, the move in Tekken 7, no matter how well you precisely use Flash, against a particular move, it would whiff if you use flash. So if you use flash and you was trying to precisely hit flash against that move and you was off axis even slightly, the move would fuck up. You will not get the flash to land unless you were in your NSS. It was the same thing with in Tekken 7. North Sword Sans flash in Tekken 7 was stronger. It's always been strong because it had more range. It had more hit range. In fact, I would say that in this game, the range for No Sword Sans flash is slightly better in terms of range than in Tekken 7. I think it feels better than in Tekken 7. But with the regular flash, it doesn't matter how close you are. You're going to whiff completely unless you were like around the corner of the right side. You can then land the flash. So you have to be off axis to land it if you're close to them, but if you are trying to parry them, or in this case counter them, you will end up whiffing it if you do it too early. You gotta do it exactly as they're about to land their move against you. You see. And from what I've checked, the overall damage has also been drastically nerfed. So usual combos like this, for example. Okay, I forgot to take off the settings. That was a little bit of a mess up right there, but you get 66 damage from this, and from what I remember, it dealt like nearly 69 damage, I think, either 69 damage or 68 damage if you were using post-nerf flash. So I don't understand why they changed the damage. They wanted him to be strong, and then now they want to nerf it. Because this is my argument right here. I do not care if flash came out to be less stronger, if that's the word, that it wasn't as strong as it was post-nerf, right, in terms of damage and healing properties. I wouldn't have cared. If it was still the same as it was in Tekken 7, like the range of flash, regular flash, was still the same. The overall damage was still the same. Recoverable health was still the same. I wouldn't have cared. I would have just been like GG's and just like, you know, okay, we got useful tools, we got ourselves, like we got 3-1. It's fine, we got 3-1, plus 7 on block. We got flee forward 2, plus 7 on block. We got Manji into forward 2, plus 7 on block. And we still have our useful tools that we can use in meditation stands, in no sword stands. A buddy, Yoshimitsu, has told me that you can do this crazy thing. Wait, you can do that? You saw that? The sword trace? It didn't even have the sword on him. Okay, that was not... Right there, I got it. He can do that. And he can still do all the crazy things that he used to be able to do post-nerf. Just the overall flash change. And I guess that you can't... Wow, I keep forgetting that I have the settings enabled. That you couldn't do this weird thing. I forget how it's done. I don't even know how to do it myself, actually. I never even knew that he had a trick that he can perform from the forward 2 just frame into forward 1+2. It was like a weird car canceling that some of the commenters told me that I didn't even know you could do. Never really seen iMusician do it. I didn't seen other Yoshis do it. I mean, I don't really watch a lot of other Tekken players play, really. I mostly watch the same Tekken commenters and players, but either way, my point is that you could have done this while they were grounded from forward to just frame. And this doesn't feel all that different either to me. I mean, I guess the opponent is coming out slightly faster, like he's waking up slightly faster, so I guess that's fine. I don't really find that to be a problem. I didn't really see a problem with it before until players have told me that, yeah, there was a trick you can do with Yoshimitsu that did big damage. So I can understand now that why they nerfed it, which is fine. I don't really care. I didn't even know. Just that Flash is now back to the usual Flash in Tekken 7, where it used to be super inconsistent. If you wanted to land Flash, you gotta be super precise, and if you weren't precise enough with Flash, then the likelihood of getting it to, you know, whiff was a lot likelier than if you were not using Flash at all and just not even attempting it, because you were likely to just whiff the Flash and getting yourself killed. I also love how a lot of commenters are hating on Yoshimitsu. Like, there's a lot of love from my supporters, from my subs, and some of the new Yoshimitsu mains that have come into the comments and stated their, you know, their agony, their suffering with Yoshimitsu's Flash being nerfed. But there's a lot of haters too in the comments, and I can understand. I mean, I can't really say they're haters. They just don't like Yoshimitsu, and that's fine. You can hate a character that you don't like. You don't have to like Yoshimitsu. But I still have my opinions on the matter, and I still think that Flash, the way it was at the release, was great. But it wasn't like a big deal. It wasn't something so overpowered. It was only overpowered because players don't know how to stop mashing buttons. They don't know how to stop doing this. They don't know how to stop doing this. All of this crap. They just keep throwing moves out without a care of the world, without even trying to assess the situation. They don't care about learning about the matchup. They just care about mashing buttons. They want to use their strongest moves. They want to launch your opponents immediately. They want to do all these crazy things, but they never assess the matchup. You think that I got to Fujin because I'm playing a strong Yoshi player, character I mean? No. I've been playing Tekken 7 Yoshimitsu for over half a year. I got that good because I've been learning from other Yoshi mains and from iMusician himself, who was my role model, essentially. Now, I'm not trying to make this sound like, you know, very emotional or anything like that. I'm just saying that if they released Yoshimitsu this way in Tekken 8, I wouldn't have cared. It's just that it's strange to me that now they made that change. Now they made that change. They didn't even bother to see whether or not if Yoshi was strong when they, I don't know, play tested him. And then now they nerfed the move again. But we're not exactly doom and gloom, because no sword stance flash is still the same, just that less damage. It's just less damage. So we're gonna be dealing about, how should I say this? It will take us nearly 3 to 4 combos just to take somebody down now, comparatively to before, because our damage has been gutted, which I can kind of understand, because it's one thing to have a really good flash that can, you know, essentially catch people off guard at any range, well, as long as you're close up to the opponent, and the fact that you can also get yourself Heat Engager off of it. And with how good Heat Engager is, with the assessments of using, like, you know, using Poison Breath, or using Samurai Cutter, or using, let's say, this move and counter hitting, getting a move off of that, or even just using other moves, doesn't really have to be that. So that's good in itself. I mean, in my opinion, I would have preferred Flash launching in your default state like it was in Tekken 7, but they nerfed it in a way. In the same time, they buffed it. They buffed it in the sense that it goes into a Heat Engager from back 2-2, and that they essentially increased the hit range, which is fantastic. In fact, they could have easily nerfed the move to a point that you couldn't even get yourself back 2-2. I wouldn't have cared. As long as you give me, like, at least down forward 1-4, that would have been nice. Because sometimes I don't really like using back 2-2 to go into the Heat Engager from Flash, solely because I want to keep my heat state or my heat gauge at the ready when I want to use it, right? I don't want to immediately go into my Heat Engager unless I really needed to, right? But that's one thing. And what else? Oh yeah. Remember when I said that you can only do like 2 flashes at the most? I might have said 3 and 4, but it was a mix-up. I was trying to like say something else, and then it came out that way. But what I meant to say is that you can only do 2 flashes now. See, only 2 flashes. It used to be 3. In the Heat Engager, it used to be 4. Now it's 3. So you can only perform 3 flashes now instead of 4, which is fine with me. I don't really care. And you can still perform some of the combos that I thought they were going to nerf, because they didn't really change anything with no sword stance besides damage and health. So for example, you can do stuff like this. You can still do that. And for those Yoshi mains, and for you Yoshimitsu, I don't know if you watched this video, you can still do your multi-hit flash. It's just that you won't do as many. So for example, let's say you do this. Let me see if I can do it. Ah, shit, I messed it up. Wait, let me do it one more time. Ah, I can't do it. I know. If only. If only. You can do it. You can do it. It's just that they reduce the amount of flashes you can use in the game. You can't really use multiple flashes as much as you want. I guess this also includes other moves too, but not as much comparatively to Flash. They really just mostly wanted to nerf Flash being used repeatedly in your heat state. So you can still do your multi-hit combos, multi-hit flashes, that was what I meant to say. But it's not really warranted anymore. You will get less damage now, even less damage in comparison to before with the multi-hit flashes. So you won't really get as much health, and you're losing out more damage. So now even less of a reason to even use multi-hit flashes, but you can still perform them if you want to look cool. This also means that you can still perform your back turn flashes, mix-ups and setups. My voice cracked. So let's see if we can make the dummy attack me. Yeah, it still works. I'm just not that good at using it. So you can still do those crazy setups where you can perform wall standing 2 into flash if they try pressing buttons. You can do back turn into 3 and do that as well. You can do also forward forward 4. My bad. Forward forward 4. And still do it, though from right here, of course, the target's going to press buttons immediately. But wait, I think I can still wait. Ah, it didn't work. Yes, you can still do it. You can still do it. So it just all depends on the situation and how you know how to back turn flash people. I don't really go for it as much unless I know for certain that they're gonna go for like a mid move, not like a high immediately like that, so I can catch them with flash. But it's a very, how should I say, risky setup. So it depends on you, all you Yoshi mains that see this, if you want to go for that. But all I'm trying to get at, and my point that I'm trying to get across, is that Flash no sword stance is still strong. It's still the same. They haven't changed the range of this move. In fact, it still feels the same to me. It's just the regular Flash, they gutted out, essentially. So that's sad. And we deal less damage now, to the point of how we used to be in Tekken 7, so that's also sad. But whatever, doesn't really matter. We still have all these other useful tools we can use, like 3-1, or Manji into 4-1+2. You can still do that. And look at that, I can still perform the regular flash from Manji 4-1+2 and still land the flash if they press buttons on me. So we still have these useful tools, so that's nice. So it's not all doom and gloom. I knew they was gonna nerf the overall hit range of flash. I knew it. Some players have stated that maybe it was only gonna be lateral. But I know that Bandai is going to do something to change Flash, not just laterally, but also in some way, maybe horizontally and vertically with the move. And they did. Like, I knew they was going to do it. Just that I didn't think that they was going to not touch Flash. Regular Flash. Sorry. The no sword stance Flash. I thought they was going to do something with that, at least significantly, but they didn't. They just messed with the regular Flash, which is not all that important comparatively, since we tend to stay in on no sword stance anyways to perform flash. So it just means we gotta play slightly a little bit differently with Yoshimitsu to really beat the F out of mashers that like to mash their attacks against us when we have flash ready. So yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the follow-up rant. I don't think it's a rant, but just my assessment on what has basically happened with Flash now. They have nerfed it, but they didn't really nerf no sword stance Flash with the range, but they did nerf the overall damage from the move, and that means our combos deal less damage. So that's the only thing they really just changed. Hopefully this doesn't spread across the other moves that he has that are really good, that I just mentioned, and that he just stays the way he is now, because he's in a good state now, because now people are gonna bitch less, I hope, but there's still gonna be people bitching and moaning about, oh, Flash is still too strong, I still get flashed, against really good Yoshi players that know how to flash, right? Like moi. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see in a couple of months and see if more people are gonna complain about Flash being nerfed. Sorry, not being nerfed, but you know, complain that it's still too strong or whatever, and they want it to be completely removed out of his kit or whatever. So let's just see. So if you guys like what you watch, give it a like, subscribe if you want to see more of my shit, and stay tuned.